Hey everyone, I'm Chris from Allied Medical and I'm one of the TPSs up here in Auckland, and I'm joined here today with Tina from Bodypoint, one of the physios, who's going to be stepping through the correct positioning of a pelvic positioning belt on a power wheelchair and manual wheelchair. So Tina, can you run through with me today the correct position to mount a pelvic belt?
Sure, so a pelvic belt needs to be doing a certain job. So it's trying to prevent the pelvic from rotating out underneath the belt or sometimes over the top of it. So the first thing I want to talk about is that 45 degrees, which is something we all hear and have been taught, is not the best angle.
Okay.
So when you go straight to the backrest to the seat rail, really what this does is it just kind of captures the pelvis, but it still allows you to slide underneath it.
Okay, so
Because
sort of
you're
like
not,
that.
yeah, so you're not stopping the rotation. So that was kind of the old-fashioned way of doing it, and it's the way seat belts are mounted in a car. Now, car seat belt is a safety device and a restraint, so it's meant to do something different. So it's important to think about that. So what I want to do is put my hands on the person, and the direction of my hands, when I get the best control, is I want to do a line straight down from your fingers to where the seat rail is, and that would be my position for the belt.
Okay.
Typically we see between 60 and 70 degrees is really effective because it goes across or in front of the trochanters and prevents you from rotating around the belt.
Okay, cool.
Now the other position, which is really great and is kind of new, is 90 degrees. So if you want it further out on the thighs, at 90 degrees to the seat rail, I'm again blocking the trochanters, which is where the pelvis rotates around, and it prevents me from sliding out forward.
And can you also run through how to ensure it's the right fit for the client?
Sure. The first thing we want to do is make sure we measure correctly. Now usually when you measure for a wheelchair for size, you always use a stiff tape measure, right? Because then I can measure the correct width for the hips without kind of rotating around the top of the thighs. However, when you use a pelvic positioning belt, you want a soft tape measure. Because I'm not measuring seat width, I'm measuring the distance across the thighs to where I want the belt to be. And what I'm really measuring is to the cushion, and that's the area of the pads. So when I look at sizes, like for this, the size is actually the length of the pads of the place that will make contact directly with the client. You always have all of this other webbing that will be able to mount to the chair. So that's the first thing. And then once you have it mounted where you'd like it, so say it's at 90 degrees, it should be firm enough that you want the buckle to be closed, and that it should take a little effort to get my hand or my fingers underneath the belt.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be so tight that I can't do that. You shouldn't have marks on the person when they undo the belt. But it needs to be snug so it actually holds them in place.
Okay, cool, perfect.